have 205,000. So we get to keep that cash that we made. It's on our balance sheet. So the net cash to sellers is just the sum of those. So we get the gross value, which is what the total amount that the buyer is going to pay to us. We have to turn around and pay back the bank for all the debt that we owe them. But we get to keep the cash that we made over the course of the year. So at the end of the day, after the sale, we're taking home 34.486 million. And so what I did here was just link to the other sheets. And typically what you want to do if you link to a sheet within your workbook, you make that a green number. So you know, oh, okay, that's linking to here. That's not a formula on my sheet. That's just linking. You know not to mess with that one. And this is a formula, so it's black. It's a formula. Formula. This should be blue. The hard code. Should be blue. The great thing about Excel is you can have these workbooks with just like, crazy amounts of sheets that are all linking together. So all you do is change one number and it flows through everything. All your sheets, all your formulas. So that way we're able to stay organized, right? Because we looked at cash flow on this sheet. We looked at debt on this sheet. We looked at CapEx and depreciation on this sheet. But then you find that like this one sheet, basically all it does is aggregate all of those calculations that we've done previously.
How did you change the information for the negative numbers into the bracket?
Into the bracket. So that is a so you asked how do I change the negative into a bracket number, right? So right now it's just like a negative. So do the same thing. Do negative 300 or whatever. Press Control 1. And then you see this. Click on this tab, numbers. And then we're talking about dollars. So we don't want any decimal places because that's too much. We want a dollar symbol. And then we want this. This is like the accounting way of looking at things. It's a negative number, has the parentheses around it. And you can make it red too if you really want it to stand out, but I used this version.
Oh.
And you press OK, and now you got it formatted like this.
I only got with one for the choice.
What's that?
I only got with one. I don't have the choice.
Oh, you don't have the choice?
Yeah.
Huh.
Where?
Oh, interesting. I don't know. I think it's because you have that looks like Chinese or Japanese. I don't know.
But it's in English.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Okay, I'll show you a workaround for that. This is like really not, you don't need to know this at all, but if in case you're interested. So you've got negative 300, press Control, go to Custom, type in $, okay? Then do a semicolon, then do parentheses $, So you like that, and then you press enter.
Oh, cool.
That's a custom way to do it. That way you can just do your own, any types of number formulas. And that was what I did back here when I did this years. So like, these are years they're calculating, but if you have text in your formulas, it won't calculate. So what I have to do is it's a workaround where I go into the custom, and I just say, in front of every number, put year. So Excel still treats this as a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, but then it just reads year in front of it, like a $. And if you guys want to learn, I don't know, how's everybody feel with Excel? beginner.
Beginner.
Beginner. That's okay. Everybody's a beginner at one point. I can share you some really good resources that will, if you like just practice it and on your own, it'll help you get up to speed very quickly. And it's just like anything in like Rhino or AutoCAD, there's like so many shortcuts that you can learn. And honestly, Excel is like 1,000 times easier to learn than Rhino or AutoCAD. So if you can master those, then Excel is like no problem. Does that help? So all these concepts that we covered, the only difference between the 1-year case and the 4-year case is just rolling these forward each year, right? So you just got to think about between year 1, year 2, what changed? Like, did I amortize my debt? Did I include CapEx? How much did I depreciate by? And so by the time you get to the end of year 4, you've accounted for all these changes in each of the years. And we don't have it here. We don't have a balance sheet here, but the way the order of operations in which you should work in general is that you should do income statement first. So fill that out to the extent that you have the information to do so, right? We don't have a balance sheet in this case, so I'm just going to put it in brackets. Balance sheet. Then your cash flow. This is kind of the order in which you go. These all feed into each other. And they all feed back into each other. They all feed back. But since we just have income statement, cash flow, so do the income statement first, then fill out your cash flow with the information that you have from the income statement. And then, at the time of sale, in year 4, that's when the settlement statement comes into play, when you sell the property. And you're trying to determine how much money you're going to be able to take home at the end of the day. Make sense? And I'll post this Excel to Canvas.
Does that make sense that as the time goes by, my IRR is decreasing?
What's the question?
I mean, compared to just sell the house at year 2.
Yes.
If we sell at year 5, the IRR is not as much as recently.
Exactly. So IRR is a function of time.
Okay.
IRR will depend how fast you earn something.
Mm-hmm.
If you earn, let me show you this way. So I invested $10 in year 0. Typically, when you look at these things, it's on a 5-year window. So this is the investment. And then at sale, in year 1, I got $20 back. So total whoops, 20 bucks. Cash flows. So I got 100% IRR, right? Just in year 1. And a multiple on invested capital of push this 20 out year 5. IRR goes down a lot, right? But the multiples is still the same. So the multiple is not a time-based metric. Multiple does not take into account timing, but IRR depends on the timing of when you receive those cash flows.
I'm more curious about this because last semester I chose the sustainable real estate class.
Yep.
And we do the cash flow in that course. Is that because we use the investment and the payback as the income, so that when the time goes by, our IR will increase?
Sorry, say that one more time. So
it basically calculate how a green investment
Yep.
will influence the IRR. So in most cases in that course, I see that as time goes by, the IRR will increase. But
as time goes by, IRR increases. Because you're ramping up the investment, right? So like in year 1, you're not getting any benefit from it. But by year 10, you're achieving all these savings.
Oh, yeah, right.
So in that case, yes.
Right.
We're looking at just if you had the same return, if you received $20 in year 1 versus if you received $20 in year 5. So in this case, it's the same, right? But what you're saying is you receive, you're looking at an example where you receive like $1 year 1, $5. It's ramping up. The savings are ramping up, and then as you go out in time, yes, you're making more. You're making a higher return because all of the returns are out here. They're not here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. The important thing to remember is just IRR is influenced by time, and multiple is time agnostic. It doesn't matter if you hold the investment for 50 years or 50 days. Your multiple is just going to be the multiple. And you can think about it this way. So if you take $10, thanks for coming. Let me know if you have any more questions. If you take $10 today and you grow it by your IRR 15%, so what I'm just doing here is growing this by 15%, compounding it every year. By the end of year 5, you're going to get to 20. It takes you 5 years at 15% a year to get to 20. Versus if I had $10, whoops. In this case, I had $10, and then I grew it by 100%. I get to 20 in 1 year, right? So it's just you're spreading it out further, and it's the annual rate of return that you're getting. Which one would you rather have? The first, obviously. Yeah. That is, you'd rather get your money sooner than later. Always. In most cases. Unless like you were concerned with the timing of when you received your money and you wanted to make sure you're getting a certain return every single year. But in this case, when it's just one return, you'd want to get it sooner. Is that helpful? Do you guys mind if we wrap up a little early? Is that 6? Okay. Do you have any more questions? Okay. If anything does come up, just let me know. Shoot me an email. And I will post this to Canvas, and I'll also post a recording on like YouTube or something. So I'll let you know.
Thank you.
But I hope that helps.
It will also be helpful if you can post some resource to Excel.
What's that?
Some resource about the Excel.
Yes, I will. I will share you some like shortcuts and like some videos that you can watch that will help you improve your Excel skills as well. Those are like totally optional though. Only if you want it for your own edification. But I find like Excel is just like communicating, right? You're telling a financial story to somebody just like you would communicate with the drawing. You're saying this is how this investment is going to work out. So if you can add that to your toolkit, it just makes you even more powerful as an architect.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for coming. I hope it was helpful. And if there's any questions or any suggestions for how you'd like to do these going forward, just let me know. This is